Body language expert analyzes how Johnny Depp and Amber Heard express themselves in court. The body says a lot about people. Johnny Depp versus Amber Heard defamation trial has continually witnessed an avalanche of takes. And while most people have chosen which side they are on, airing opinions and showing off their support online and physically, Janine Drive Pictured has decided to break down instead the nuances of how the ex-couple expressed themselves in the courtroom. One of the points that Janine, a body language expert, focused on was how Heard leaked contempt via her face. She explained, "It's called contempt. It's on the left side of her face, right there. It's moral superiority. And it's out of place, especially for a battered woman. I work with battered women. I myself was dating a hotshot lawyer in my 20s who beat me up and left me for dead in his driveway. And I have to tell you, battered women, or women who are domestic violence survivors, they're not leaking content." Janine emphasized domestic violence survivors express sadness and fear, and she didn't see that in Heard's face. She added, "That's moral superiority. They're leaking sadness and fear. These are two emotions we have not seen on Amber Heard's face yet. Sadness and fear have not made an appearance in the courtroom, but contempt is there every day the camera shines on her. It's moral superiority. It's almost like saying, 'I got you. I got you.'" In summary, Heard's expression is summarized as contempt and moral superiority. For Depp, Janine explained that his occasional smile was an attempt to hide the pain he was experiencing. "You've seen it throughout the trial, and you've seen this anytime he talked about abuse from his mother as a kid. This right here, this smile shows us when people feel vulnerable or emasculated. They will often smile in those moments. Why? To overcome the pain they are experiencing. It's almost like a way to not let us see how much suffering they are in. And it becomes a defense mechanism that people will use throughout their life." Janine said Depp has been like that for years and had been seen in interviews when uncomfortable, especially when talking about being emasculated by something Amber has done. So this smile right here is saying I'm uncomfortable, and here is where he is talking about 2 years later, and now there is something in the Washington Post. It's never ending. And he again laughs in court when he talked about abuse from the mother, and he is talking about being transported back into this kid-like brain, about the pain and trying to avoid it, and we see him laughing. The author pointed out Heard's feelings of shame, anxiety, and stress, seen in how she touches her face. She stated, "So anytime we touch our face, we do this when there is a spike in stress and anxiety. And Johnny Depp has done this for years. And we are seeing Amber Heard doing this every now and then in a courtroom. There is an increase in stress and anxiety. And let me tell you what happens here. When we touch our face, even if there is an itch, what that does to our brain is it does a reset. It's like recharging your cell phone. It does a cognitive reset, and it does an emotional reset. So all these hormones begin to get released in our body. So this is what we see here. Now, what Amber Heard does seconds later is she then puts her hand up by her forehead. And when she does this is an indication of shame. What's missing here is sadness. I'm not seeing deep swallows. I'm not seeing the corner of her mouth curved down. I'm not seeing her eyebrows pulled together and up, which are all micro-expression of sadness. Now, someone at home might say, well, Janine, maybe she has Botox. Maybe she does. But it's very unlikely that we are not going to see any movement, whether it's in her eyebrows or here, on her dimples of her lip, the corners of her lip. So we are missing that sadness, yet we see shame. In another interview with Kurt, Janine emphasized the anger Heard's been expressing in the courtroom. She insisted people who think they are superior and better than others will often leak contempt when they think they are getting away with it. She continued, and by the way, gonna make one last point here. The bigger the audience, the more often we'll see contempt. And we're seeing it every single day on Amber Heard's face. Never once on Johnny Depp's face. And you're talking about the left side of her face. That little twitch on the left side of her face. Watch, there it is right there. That tiny little twitch. It's called contempt. Janine highlighted 7 universal emotions: surprise, anger, disgust, happiness, sadness, moral superiority, and contempt, which she said can never be overcome. She then explained, you can overcome anger very easily. Anger's an easy emotion to overcome. Contempt, the only way to do it is to ask them their opinion. Johnny Depp was so great on the stand to talking about placating her, You want to slap my face. You want to slap my ear like you did before and cut it, and make my heart ring and like bells. When might you look over the shoulder? When you suddenly lack confidence. So this was most likely unexpected for her, or at least how she was feeling was unexpected. Janine concluded by describing the turnover of Amber's shoulder as scanning for connection with somebody whoever she turned to, seeking understanding and acceptance. Equally, the expert attested that her eyebrows display pleasure and trouble as Heard seems bothered with anticipation for whatever bad news that might follow as per a perceived threat, and that she also tries to control her anger in the courtroom.